The Munkasaza.
I mean, wait a minute.
Munkasaza. This is called just Jewish boys, but they give us shoes and hats. We was working there, not forced labor camp. Was working there in Nagybánya. That is around, I would say, 80, 100 kilometers from us. This was already in the Romanian side. This was Romania before. When they, Hungarian, take this over the other side, Transylvania.
That was the headquarters.
Yeah, that was Nagybánya. We took us there, and I was there 9 months. After the 9 months, they took us to Szeged. And there's next to Szeged is Új-Szeged. That's the second largest city in Hungary. And there I was 9 months working, and then from there they took us to Bor. We was there 5,000, that's around 5 times 4, 2,000 people, to make a hill, a big hill, you know, to take with the talichkas, how you call it, the barrels, and took up, make it, and took it up there. This was our work for months and months and months. I don't think so.
What was the reason for that hill?
That the soldiers came, the Hungarian soldiers, came out to learn how to shoot.
Yeah,
Firing, yeah, just how they fire. If they wouldn't have the hill in the back, then people could get killed. This was like a video, how you call it, a wall, like a wall.
It was a practice range, a firing range.
The wall that shouldn't happen something. So the soldiers came out, and we went away, the soldiers came out and learned to shoot, sharpshooting. Just we Jewish people, they didn't let them do that. We just did the work, did hard work. And then the stone carrying and all kind of stuff to doing. Just from there, we went away at this, the boat to Yugoslavia. This is called Borski Rudnik. Rudnik is a coil gram. That is with the dig.
A mine.
A mine. Borski mine. Rudnik is a mine. Borski Rudnik, and there we was working there. The copper mine. So just to take out the copper. They took out 1.5 kilo gold. The next mine just didn't pay for them to do it. Just what we had to do, the mine was under, and the engineer said that the hill is too heavy to take away the whole hill. But trains and to load the hill from here and put it around 20.
Like an assembly line.
Yeah, to put it away from there, that shouldn't be too heavy for the mine. The Jewish people was not allowed to work in the inside, just to take away the hill. And then they brought their Italian people, also around 5,000-6,000. There was a lot of people there working to take away. This hill was around, I would say, 15 to 20 kilometers. And this has to be, that's what the Germans made it put away. So I was working in a tunnel in the beginning. They made a tunnel that they should go through before the hill is taken away. From one side to the other side was 9 kilometers. And then was windows, they call it, to go in the tunnel. It was little trains, and they braid out from there the ground and stones, and we have to put it out here. Then they put me in a train. In Mozdony. This is a train. Yeah, this is and they had their train, which is narrower with 10 centimeters like the normal. So I was going to bringing in the stuff from Zaječar. Zaječar is the place where the big train was coming and bring supplied for us. So I had a very good job to work, to bring in, to work with this thing. I worked there 2 years on this. And after this, it was a lot of other works there. I told you it was around, I would say, 40, 50,000 people there in Bor. A lot of works, all kind of works. I just think what my job was. Some people,
Your division was
my department, I was belonging to one department, Kunze, and there I was working, and he made me Muslim visitor, the leader from not Muslim, like engineer on the train, and I was bringing in the food from, beginning, before this, I got this job, I was taking the stones, they bring stones with chain, and they had to bring stones from one place to the other, also with the train. I was working the cable. Yes, I was working in the train. And, the machine was with coals, heated with coals. I had a heizer, let's call it. What is a heizer? I was the Führer, was a heizer, and then was one guy who changed the shins, the
machinist.
no, the railroads, to change where the train should go. Anyhow, I had a very good work. Then came, and we have to go home after 3.5 years.
The only remains were the elderly people, women and children. There was no way that we could resist in any way, although we come from the mountains, and my father knew the mountains very, very well. There was no way that we could hide ourselves in the mountains because of the peasants. They would have given us away.
For instance, I got that paper by policeman delivered to my store. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that next day I must be in the town of Uzhhorod, the name Uzhhorod. And next day in the morning, because otherwise if I wouldn't go, I don't know, what do you know about it, how dangerous the Hungarian gendarmerie. You know what the gendarmerie? They was the most dangerous. This is not police, it's worse than police, it's a kind of police. And they have, in the helmets, feathers. And they call it the feather people, tollasok in Hungary, feathers. You have never seen this, a picture of it. So there was no mercy by them, no mercy. I found out a couple of days later that I was by my own employee, Michael, hoe zoekt men wat nog gemasserd?
Somebody squealed. Somebody squealed.
My own, whom I employ.
Your worker,
Yes,
he
in my store.
telling you.
Yeah. A couple of days later, my father came to Uzhhorod. We were there about 2 weeks all together, and told me that the 6 days after when I left and I closed my store, chemist store, and gave the keys to my father. Father, look after the things, not to open because have to be, a tradesman. We was talking over the fence. The fence was just a wire. He told me, Rudy, the 5th or the 6th I come, the most dangerous gendarmerie, that's not police, that's worse than the police. And he stopped in front of my father, and he said to my father in Hungary, to give the keys here, or you go in the concentration camp. You give here the keys. So my employer was behind this, and he got the keys.
Now, another thing about the political situation in Hungary is that after the Austro-Hungarian Empire was dissolved, there were a bunch of small right-wing groups, nationalist groups, that began to spread